Hello and welcome to my so-called garden life. Today I'm going to give you an update on my seedlings, and I'm going to keep making sowing more seeds for this coming season. And I also have a surprise guest in my seedlings that you can see here. I'm going to show you who it is. It's a rouge tomato. If you follow me here, you can see that here it's a rather big tomato plant. I'm guessing it's a indeterminate tomato, and I have no idea what it is. It's in the row of eggplants. So the seed for this tomato was in the bag of seeds for eggplants, the variety Farmer's Long. So I have no idea what kind of tomato it is. It's kind of exciting. I'm going to move it to its own pot, and I'm going to follow it through the season. I'm actually quite excited to see what it is. But it's nowhere near in likeness with the tomatoes that I have already sown. You can't see them right now. I have already transplanted them. I'm going to show you them later in another video. But the size and the shape of the leaves, nothing is corresponding with the tomatoes that I've sown this year, which makes me quite certain that I haven't accidentally dropped a tomato seed in the wrong pot. Otherwise, my little seedlings are doing well. These are the artichokes. About half of them has already been transplanted into bigger pots. I'm going to keep doing that. The big cucumbers have moved, and I have these okra plants. They look healthy to me, but I actually have no idea because I've never sown them. I've never grown them, and only one of the Clemson spineless germinated, but all four of the Burgundy okra germinated. So I'm gonna put some more seeds of the Clemson spineless in later on. They germinated fast and they look like they're growing fast. I wonder if I can plant them down like tomatoes, put a bit of a stalk in the soil. I think I'm going to try that because right now they're really tall. These are my experimentation plants with okra. I still have time to put a new batch of seeds in the soil. So I might try that as well. The celeriacs are growing. They're not that big yet, but they will take their time. And I'm gonna leave them be for a while longer. And then I have the peppers and chilies. They are doing really well, and they are gonna need to move to own pots. Well, yesterday actually, but I have to find the time to transplant them. They will survive. They're not that. They have a bit of soil space and they have the nutrition that they need still. And here are the leeks and the salads, the lettuce plants that I have prepared in my hope to make a hotbed. I'm not sure anymore that I'm going to make a hotbed this year. We don't seem to get a winter. Today we have frost. It's covered in white frost outside, but it's no snow. We have a few degrees below 0 Celsius during nighttime, but that's it. And the mild weather is returning in a few days. So I'm thinking that maybe I don't need a hotbed now. Maybe I can just transplant the lettuce plants that I have into my greenhouse once I've amended the soil and put some fleece over it, and then eventually they will acclimatize to the temperature and will probably grow well. Unless we get winter in March. I don't know. We'll see. Another thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to use these empty plugs to grow some early kale plants. Like I did or tried to do in the early Cabbage-challange 2019. I have a video of that. So I'm gonna try this year as well. So now I'm gonna start sowing my cabbage seeds for an early cabbage harvest, and maybe some of these plants will also be my summer cabbage plants. This is my plug tray with all my chilies and peppers. They're gonna be transplanted soon, but I'm gonna use this space where the small tomatoes were, called Vilma. I've already transplanted them. I will show you them in another video when I'm gonna show you where all my transplanted seedlings end up. But now I'm gonna use these plugs to start some cabbage plants. Last year I started 5 varieties of brassicas or cabbages. I had a Savoy cabbage, a pointed white cabbage, a round white cabbage, a cauliflower, and a black kale broccoli hybrid called broccoli. Of these 5, I could harvest from 3 varieties. The broccoli went really well until the bugs took them, and they were really tasty. The white cabbage with pointed head did well, and the Savoy cabbage did well. Unfortunately, the other 2, the cauliflower and the white cabbage with round heads, they basically grew a lot slower. Even the seedlings looked unhealthy. I tried to transplant them and they didn't even survive the first weeks indoor, which was sad. From the other 3 varieties, I got some nice plants. I transplanted them out in my polytunnel a little too early, or I protected them a little poorly. So the broccoli did really well. It seems to be extremely frost hardy or cold hardy. But the other 2, a few plants died in the polytunnel. So I have to think about that this year, if I'm going to transplant them fairly early and it's still risk for hard frost, because that's what happened. We had like minus 10 degrees Celsius after I transplanted them, and I didn't cover them well with fleece, and they died on me. A few plants died on me. But now I know. Last year was my first try to grow really early cabbage, and so I would like to think that I know better, or I have come out of it with a few experiences richer, even though not everything survived. So this year I have a few classics, but also a few new varieties that I want to try to grow like this. I have a new variety for me of a white cabbage with round head called Premier. It's supposed to be really fast growing and an early summer cabbage, and I think that will be really good for this type of project. I have the same white cabbage with pointed head called Early Jersey Wakefield as last year because they worked well. It was my fault that I didn't get as many plants in the polytunnel as I wanted. The plants, they grew well otherwise. The broccoli was one of my favorites last year, so I'm definitely gonna grow this again, and I am actually gonna sow quite a lot of plants of this one. And then I have the Savoy cabbage for both 3 that also did really well. I'm supposed to have some more. I forgot to take these out. I also want to try the red cabbage with pointed head called cabbage-challange. I grew this last year, but during the summer and the fall, and it's really beautiful, and I think it grows pretty fast, and it's beautiful plants. So I'm gonna try this as an early variety. And then I bought another kind of cauliflower called Neckarperl. That's supposed to be really fast growing for an early harvest. I would like to get an early harvest of cauliflower because later in the season and during the summer there are so many bugs and lice and everything that really likes cauliflower. And other kale varieties, you know, you rinse them off and you can still eat them, and that you can do that with cauliflower as well, but it looks unappetizing when the entire cauliflower head is covered in bugs. I have to admit I don't really want to eat it anymore. Or when when you open it up and all the little holes in the cauliflower is filled with like lice and larvae from the kale fly. So I'm thinking that if I can grow an early cauliflower and maybe even a late harvest of cauliflower, I think I could skip the worst window where the kale fly and the kale butterfly are active. So I'm hoping this is a white cauliflower. So I'm just gonna, I have filled this up with the same soil as earlier, regular planting soil for outdoors actually, from a bag, but it was super dry, so I'm moisturizing it up, and then I'm gonna plant all these varieties. A few seeds in each, probably, because these will be transplanted pretty fast. Yeah. was all my brassica varieties. I made 2 rows of broccoli because I really want a lot of plants with those ones. And then 1 row of each. There's 4 plugs each, a few seeds in each. But then I got 1 row left that I actually didn't plant now. And that's good because I have 1 variety of eggplant that I showed you earlier, and the farmer's long, the one with the rogue tomato in it. And I had a plan to buy another variety of small aubergines, but those seeds are out from there. They're no longer available at that seed firm, and so I bought an early long purple 2 variety, you know, like basic store-bought eggplants. So I'm gonna try that as well. So I'm gonna use the last row for that to get another aubergine variety started. And then I think I'll be fine. One standard variety and 1 farmer's long. Those are a light purple and long, and skinny and long. Kind of nice. Usually rather fast growing. So I'm hoping for that. But these I'm gonna water really well. I'm gonna put them under the grow lights. These are gonna get transplanted soon. Just don't really know which day, but we'll see. Some of them are really big and they're super beautiful. They look healthy and green. Yeah, I think it might be a good pepper and chili year. And hopefully it will be a good cabbage year, and that I won't make my plants freeze to death as soon as I plant them out. Well, that was all for today. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you're interested in following what happens in my garden and garden related stuff in my life, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.